Hello, everybody. Welcome back for the second half of Harvest Valley. Uh, we just had a festival,
Mhm.
and right before we went to break, you asked me where we were, me and Ned, after the festival that later that night. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I know Ashlyn was not participating in that festival. Um, I think she was very busy trying to accommodate her new animals. She didn't have time to go to the festival. She doesn't have a rhythm down for, brushing all the sheep or feeding them, and it just took all day. And so I think she's probably kind of tired, just like having dinner at home, um, with probably Rachel and Uncle Bish when Ned gets back from the event.
I have a question. So Quiet is Rachel's dog because
Mm-hmm.
Rachel bought him for Esteban to help him herd the sheep.
Yeah.
Do you have Quiet the dog around the house these days because you are married to Rachel?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Cool.
Okay. I think Quiet spends most of his time on Uncle Bish's bed.
As well he should. Good dog.
Mhm.
That means he's not really helping too much with the livestock.
Mm-mm. That's fair.
Okay. Um, so you eat dinner. What time do you actually go to sleep?
Probably not too late. Um, maybe like 11.
Okay. Ned, what's your plan for the night?
I'm gonna go chop down these trees.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah.
All right.
Seems like a Ned thing to do.
Yeah.
You
You're
know
just
that's
like,
hecka loud, right?
I mean,
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably wouldn't actually. Because
I
he
mean,
also
just wide-eyed.
he has the instinct to take his time to do stuff.
Mm.
So it probably wouldn't actually do
I was
that.
imagining like a wide-eyed, victory-crazed Ned just going to ham on the trees.
Yeah, well,
Is
I
it
think
even is it even like allowed in Stockchester to do like noisy work that late?
I don't feel like there's like a law against it because everybody's just too polite to do it.
I just don't think that it like actually would be a thing that he would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine like there's this cutscene that plays every time you take an axe where townsfolk runs out of the house and asks you please to stop and then runs back in the house. You have to wait. And then every time that happens, you can make another axe cut and then you have to wait for the cutscene to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't happen because you just don't do it.
Yeah. So I guess I would just go home.
All right, you go home. Everyone goes to sleep. All right, it's the next morning.
I need to talk to Ned about building a barn.
All right, where's Ned staying nowadays?
I thought he was still sleeping on Ashlyn's couch.
Yeah, I thought so.
All right.
Where he's
Yeah,
been for like 6 months now.
Uncle Bish offers to help you carry the couch into your brewery.
I think I like it where it is.
Oh, that's so sweet. He gives you a hug.
Ned doesn't like change. but he won't say anything, and I think he just stands there awkwardly while Fish.
All right. Uncle Fish knows you don't like hugs, so it's just a short hug.
Oh, Ned, I'm so glad I caught you here. We really need to do something about all of the animals. Right now, they're just wandering all over the farm willy-nilly, and it's getting so cold. I really want to make sure that we can get a barn so we can put them away proper, like, you know?
Yep.
Oh, what do I need to do?
Well, probably hire someone to build a barn.
I thought you were gonna help me with that, Ned.
Oh, you never asked me to. You just said you needed a barn. What to do about that?
Will you help me?
Yep.
Thank you, Ned.
Well, I think I was gonna build some chairs, but those invasive oaks. I mean, oak is pretty good building wood. It's good hardwood. It takes a long time for oak trees to grow. It's one of the harder woods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about wood for a little while. And then
no. Ashlyn is absolutely 100% engaged because Ned never talks.
And then, well, you're talking to him about carpentry, so like this is the one thing he talks about. And then I think he'll say, yeah. So I was gonna chop those trees down anyway. So I guess we'll just plan on turning them into planks and then haul them back here and get started on the foundation.
That sounds great. That sounds like a really great plan. Do you need me to help chop them down?
Do you want to?
Well, I mean, I don't really know how to do it, and I'm not sure that I have enough time, but I don't want you to have to do it all by yourself.
Well, I can't decide for you.
That sounds like you need somebody's help, so it might as well be me.
I think Ned just like is like throughout this whole conversation, he's like putting on his like gear and like his like harness and like he's like packing his tools up. And then when she says that, he like slings the bag over his shoulder with his axe and stuff, and like starts walking out the door. He's like, "Yep." Yeah.
She follows along.
Yeah.
All right. The two of you make it to the trees. Meanwhile, Dr. Donna, of course, goes through her ritual in the morning, right? But Anna here doesn't show up in the morning because she's cleaning her library.
Sad times. So Dr. Donna finishes her breakfast and goes back to her doctor's office.
Here's the sound of cutting wood.
Amazing. I expect an accident in the future, but otherwise what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to my desk where I handle business, and I'm going to take out another sheet of paper, cut it, and I'm going to start writing this letter to my sister. And I feel like Dance Macabre starts playing or something because she just has like a candle and just starts like pouring the seal onto the envelope and like pressing it down. I don't think she has like a pattern she puts on it. I think she just has like a dowel. And she just goes and waits for the wax to harden and then like kind of lifts the seal up so that she can put a letter in it. Or maybe I did that out of order, but whatever, you get the point.
I'm not sure that's you start with putting a seal on, but okay.
Yeah.
Usually you
Exactly.
end with putting the seal on.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's the first thing you do. So,
Jesus Christ. We're just like, okay, Adam, you're doing the thing. Great.
I imagine
Love it.
it's like, you know those certificates with like the seal at the bottom, and it's got those streamers coming off. I imagine it's like that, or it's like instead of her
Yes.
signature, Dr. Donna always starts with a seal.
Sure.
So, all right, you're writing or
I'm very
thinking about
sad.
writing. Only somebody was playing sad music right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make a joke about this world's smallest violin that you can't even hear it.
Yep.
All right.
I think she's gonna start talking about how all of her relationships are falling apart except for maybe Cleo, and then she like concludes this like part of the letter and like leaves some space and like writes the next date for like tomorrow, and then like folds the letter back up and puts it back in her desk so that tomorrow she can like write more, because she wants to put a lot in this letter. She doesn't, because she's been waiting for like months to send a first letter. So
Sure.
she wants this first one to be like really beefy.
All right. Let's see how the woodcutting goes. So Ned and Ashlyn roll up to the grove of trees. This is very clean because everything's been picked through. That means all the leaves and all the branches have also been picked through. But the dirt is very wet because it's got this kind of spray thing coming from the cold winter storm brewing overhead. Do you just start chopping?
Golden. You don't just start chopping. First, the key, the thing that Ned learned in architecture school was all about positioning and angles and making sure that you're cutting the wood in the optimal way to then design for the home. And the funny thing about, what was this type of wood called again? I can't remember what you called
Gloom owl oak.
The funny thing about gloom owl oak is instead of the traditional wavy grain, it's got a bit of a twisted grain, kind of run across each other. So you got to be real careful when you're cutting the wood because you can dull your axe on the first tree. But Ned's dealt with these things before, you see. So I'm gonna make a tree cutting roll to fell enough of this. I mean, so I'm gonna try to do something that's kind of cheating a little bit, and you can tell me if I can do this or not. Because my main goal for the belief is to like help with the invasive species issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I definitely want that to be part of my intent. The question is whether I can also get the intent of getting enough lumber to build Ashlyn's barn.
Yeah. I feel like that doesn't raise the difficulty, right? Because you're cutting down trees.
Right. I mean, that's the basically the only thing I could really see is like maybe that changes failure such that is like instead of failure being I'm not able to like keep back the the invasive species, it's just like, oh shit, I cut down all of the blue owl. I was definitely not supposed to get rid of all of it in the park.
I don't think anybody would care if you got rid of all of it because it is an invasive species.
Okay, so maybe something else, but I don't know.
I think the failure is something like, there are other actual woodcutters in town, that make their business selling people's trees. I think you already angered them once already.
No, I don't think I have, but that would be a good failure.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be angry because if you fail,
that's exactly the kind of bureaucratic nonsense that Ned has no desire to even engage with as well. So he definitely would not talk to those people before going to cut down trees.
Yeah, they think they have dibs on the trees if you fail. So let's see. That's wood cutting. Wood cutting. Tree cutting. I mean, not all wood is tree. I don't know, whatever. This is going to be Cobb's 5 because there's multiple trees.
Oh boy, that's a really hard test.
I'm not going to give you more obs for it being hardwood.
I definitely want to help.
Do you have a helping skill?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Oh, I do! Hatchet-wise!
Yeah.
There you go. You can help with the twisty wood.
Tree cutting.
I'm going to get yet another challenging test that I definitely don't need. I'm never going to get any routine tests on Hatchet-wise. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess a stand of trees. Ab 5. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, shit, fam. It's gonna be a hard roll. All right. We got tree cutting. We got carpentry fork. We got help from Ashlyn. We got tree wise.
Yeah.
We got architecture.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and take our time for the extra die.
Sure.
And that seems pretty obvious with Ned.
And
especially with your little lead-up speech there.
We're gonna spend all 3 of my remaining persona.
Wow. You still actually have to build something, remember?
Yeah, but I'm probably not gonna do that this session. Actually, You know what? I won't spend the persona. It's fine.
I do want you to do it this session. Or at least Ashlyn does, so.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see how this roll goes.
I can do that for you. Because I'm not spending the persona though. But it doesn't matter.
Wow. Nice.
Oh my
That's so many 6s.
Is there a reason to re-roll those?
There's so many 6s.
I'm sure there's a reason. Go ahead and re-roll them.
I got a good reason if I do really well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6s.
It's 5 6s.
Oh my god. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 successes. So I think
wow.
I think Ned is like he gets up and he's just ready to go. And
that's
I think
12 successes on 9 dice.
So here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for this to be like a Paul Bunyan-esque folktale that like basically comes about where like instead of pissing off the carpenters, like the carpenters come or the woodcutters like all come to come give pay Ned a piece of their mind, but then they see this him and Ashlyn just in this fevered frenzy. He's just chopping down tree after tree and tossing Ashlyn the axe, who will sharpen it up and get it fixed, and then she tosses him, and she's always got an axe in his hand. And it's he did the work of 9 men that day, and instead of pissing off the woodcutters, I get them on my side. Can we do something like
Sure.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I think that's what happens. Like they'll lend you like the saw at one point, and
You
they'll
freed them
bring
up
their-
to chop down more profitable trees.
yeah, they'll bring their cart to help you pull the trees even, and also, 2 of the trees are full of honey that would be perfect for your distillery.
That's a nice bonus. I mean, but more than twice the ob, I think that's a pretty good deal.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Good stuff. Should we jump to someone else before I have to roll again and
All right. After this one last thing, so I think while you're cutting, somebody comes and tells you, during the night, someone stole the power core for one of the trains.
Wouldn't that be in the engine though? No, it's fine.
Yeah, it would be. They pulled it out of the engine.
But didn't we get the engine? That was the
You
one.
did. And you have other engine cores, but someone stole one of them. I think you have like 3 spares.
Those best.
It's a thing that makes a lot of heat.
Rapscallions, hooligans.
All
Got
right,
kicked out of the
so
hotel.
let me look at other Ashland beliefs. Yeah, Ashland. How do you become friends with your animals?
There's definitely like the petting every day. This is why she wasn't able to do the festival. This is what she's been doing, is and because she doesn't have a barn, they're just like completely, and then she doesn't have any fences. They just wander all over her entire property, which we've already established is really large. And so she has to track each one down, make sure it gets fed, brush its wool out,
Yeah.
give it little love pats, on for every one of the sheep, and then like milk the goats, and Donna's taking care of the horses, but make sure she does, basically.
Yeah. You just have to like talk with her about it and stuff like that, and have consultations about how things are going and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of those things.
All right, let's make a roll for this. Do you have animal husbandry?
No. But I do feel like that's what it is.
That's definitely what it is.
I'm
And there's a
learning
lot
animal
of
husbandry.
them. So I'm going to say it's a base obs of 2, because you got Dr. Don taking care of the horses and stuff.
So that's
Plus 1 obs because of how many animals there are. And another plus 1 obs because of how spread out they are.
Wow, I'm gonna hecka fail this.
Now, you can get dice by telling me how you overcome those additional plus 1 obses. So if you can tell me how you deal with there being lots of them and them being spread out, then you can get additional dice.
Okay. That's reasonable. So as far as dealing with how I with there being lots of them, I think actually probably I'll start with them being very spread out. And I think that they don't like move around a huge amount. Like they'll get to a spot and they'll graze there for an extended period of time. So like I like climb up on a ladder before I head out there, and I like in my mind like map out a path of the most efficient way to tend to each animal.
Okay. To optimize where you're gonna go, like it'll take me 5 seconds to walk to over there and 10 seconds over there. Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
I feel like as part of how I deal with there being a lot of them is this is partly like my accounting background, but like I name all of them so that I can like have a checklist so that I don't miss anybody.
Okay. How do you keep track of all the names?
I mean, I have a checklist.
Do you have a list?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in my little farmer book that keeps me updated with all of the stats of everything I've sold.
Fantastic. All right, I'll give you 2 dice for that stuff.
Okay.
You want to take extra time?
Yes, I was gonna say exactly that.
Okay. So
and
I think
do I get a die from Dr. Donna helping me?
No, that makes you not have to deal with the cows and horses.
I didn't think there were cows. It was just horses, but still.
Yeah, there's horses, and there's probably like other animals that are difficult to keep. I don't know what they are.
Okay, so I'm gonna get 3
The crazy
dice.
sheep.
Yep.
That would probably be considered exotic animals now.
I mean, if I could, can I set myself up with adventure-wise to deal with those exotic animals?
Okay, you want them to love you too, after all. It's not just the easy animals you want to love you. It's the hard animals too.
Yeah. So if I'm gonna roll adventure-wise to try to increase my thing here, can I fork in farming-wise? Because I'm farming them. Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that would really fit in here, except maybe grain-wise, like knowing what kind of grain to feed them for, like what the different types of animals would want.
Okay, yeah, you would know what kind of things the different animals like to eat.
Fantastic. And finally, I don't know if this one's pushing it, but inconspicuous, just so that I can like come upon them slowly so that they don't startle.
Yeah, because otherwise they might run away. All right, sure.
Awesome. Okay, so what is my ob for setting myself up here? I know that's not the right term in Burning Wheel, but you know there is the thing that there's a thing that's that thing.
Like
first off, your failure state is you will be out late at night. If you fail, you just it's gonna be all night basically. Okay. On success, the animals will love you. I'm trying to decide. Like, is this like in the game, right? You get this every day, but this is Burning Wheel, and
well, this is encompassing me doing it for multiple days.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like the cycle of animal husbandry, I think, is like 3 months.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's one of the longer ones for how long skill rolls take, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's reasonable then. So yeah, if you succeed, the animals will love you and will follow you around wherever you go.
no. Okay.
Unless you don't want them to, then you can leave them on your farm.
Right, okay, great. And so for the link test with Adventure Wise, what's my ob for that?
Okay, for adventure wise, so I think what's happening is that the sheep have split up and they're going all over the farm and they're finding the most perilous parts of the farm. So there might be a sheep that's eating their well, and there's another sheep that's out in the hilly wooded area that you didn't clear, and they're like eating snakes. And there's another sheep that it's living underneath a bridge, and you're kind of worried it's going to eat the bridge. And you know about all the adventures that could happen in these places. But it's not like very complicated stuff, right? Like it's just like, well, these are the obvious dangers and perils that the sheep are going to integrate into their own existences.
Okay.
And you must overcome these perils for the sheep to love you. Okay, so we're gonna say it's obs 1 because this is fairly straightforward.
I won't buy it.
You know a lot about adventuring.
That's so many 6s too. So I get an additional +1.
Yeah. So you complete all the adventures.
All right, let's now what is my ob for actually animal husbandry?
It was obs 4 because it was obs 2 plus the 2 additional obses.
Right, but didn't I eliminate those other obs?
You don't eliminate them, you just get dice equal to them. So you get 2 extra additional dice, but the obs remains.
Okay.
That's how additional obs penalties work.
So am I at
Additionally, if you are untrained in the skill, obs penalties don't double.
Gotcha. So it should be
That now as well.
2 doubled to 4
+1.
plus
And the sheet will
Plus
ask
2.
no +2.
So you're at 6. Then you have 2 dice plus whatever your base skill is.
And +1 for my Adventure Wise test.
And then you had a number of other forks, I thought. I wasn't counting.
I can't fork those. No, that was all into Adventure Wise.
Oh.
Because I'm still
yeah,
learning
fork
animal
into
husbandry.
This. Okay.
But only the base ob doubles. So as long as you got that, you're good.
I feel like I did have another bonus here, but
I mean, you took your time, right?
yes, that was my other bonus. Okay, so 2 for overcoming the obstacles, 1 for Adventure Wise, and 1 for taking my time. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and spend Persona here because I want him to be my friend. And I'm going to list the base ob as 3 because that'll make it properly double to 6.
Sure.
Additional complications is a thing now?
It always has been. That's where you would.
No.
So you would like to,
No, it
hasn't
hasn't.
been?
No.
The sheets
What?
have
Oh yeah,
changed a
that's
little
new.
bit.
That's what you're supposed to use for the non-doubled ones.
That was never has never been there
No, it's
before.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was there before.
No, definitely not.
It's
There's
brand
also another little change that I peeked. There's now like 5 little dots for your advancement stuff. In some places.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
how I was
true.
like, something
new.
changed
Wait, but
here.
that's not. You never need 5 tests. Oh wait, maybe you need. I don't think there's ever a time.
Yes.
Ooh.
nice.
I
Wow, that's
got-
an amazingly good roll.
I have only one failure on 8 dice, and I succeeded at winning this mission.
You do.
Damn.
All right.
Well,
So the good news is, all the sheep love you. All the other animals love you. You don't have to, after this roll is done, you don't have to go find them. They will actually come to you in the morning to be fed.
Nice. That makes it a lot easier.
Makes it a whole lot easier. Bad news is, and I'll let you decide what you do about this. One night, there is a fire in town. Does anybody investigate a fire on the outskirts of town?
Do I have a belief about that?
Oh.
Probably not.
Oh.
It happens in the middle of the night.
I have an
was-
instinct about being asleep in the middle of the night, so I can't help.
I am also asleep because I think that a couple of months ago I got in big trouble for waking up during the hours of 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Dr. Donna, nobody will be harmed in the fire.
but Dr. Donna can't sleep because she's having relationship issues and she's all
Okay.
busy up all night trying to write this letter to her sister and recording the events of the day.
So you're sleepless at night, and you notice this fire coming from the west of town, and you investigate. And you go and look, and it's coming from the old Faust mansion. There's like this great plume of fire coming out of one of the chimneys.
Can I see anything just from peeking in windows?
Not at the start.
Okay.
How long do you want to keep doing that?
Okay, I have a different question that you can probably answer more completely. I look in one of the windows on the lower floors. Does it look like it's in fire? Like it's in flames yet? Or is that just like on the upper floor it seems?
Yes, one of the rooms on the bottom floor, like in the basement, looks like it's on fire.
What does Harvest Valley have in the way of like firefighters?
Nothing? Praying to the harvest goddess?
Legit.
Which you don't believe in.
Exactly.
Or you're at least skeptical of it.
Yeah, exactly. I am going to. Okay, so I clearly have a mask that I can wear because I wear it for surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put on my mask and I am going to walk into the Faust mansion.
Okay, you walk into the Faust mansion. The front doors are wide open. It looks like somebody broke the lock. Of course, it was locked because no one's living here anymore.
I'm going to find a source of water. something you can put out this fire with?
I mean, there's bathrooms and kitchens.
Okay, cool.
I guess the kitchen would be the biggest source of water. You would know that there's probably like a well in the basement. It's probably like a, one of the lever operated wells you have to pull on. It probably naturally flows like a spring, but no matter how good the spring is, if you're using it for like industrial uses or for like a mansion full of people, you need to be able to pump it out when you need it.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have to go down into the basement to get to the well, and then the bucket would only raise like there's no like multi-story thing where you can get like water from like the top floor bathroom or something.
I mean, you could always just first off, the well is in the lower part of the building.
Yeah.
It's not a bucket, it's a pump.
Okay. Gotcha.
If you want to like just use the water, like it has running hot and cold water because it's fantasy nonsense, then you can totally like just leave the sinks run, plug the drains, and the water will get down there eventually.
That's maybe what I do since I'm one person.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about the tunnels leading from the Faust Mansion to the mayor's house. So I'm kind of just to see what happens, I leave all the water running in the Faust Mansion to see if something weird happens at the mayor's, at like City Hall or something. Like if City Hall's flooded the next day or something.
Okay. So you just get out of water running and you leave to see what happens?
Yep.
All right, let me roll a die of fate. So I think on a 1 or a 2, that's good enough. No. So the Faust Mansion will burn down. It burns down all the way to the foundation. It's just a rubble now. You don't notice any kind of flooding at the town hall. Nobody mentions anything about it.
Cool. Dr. Donna doesn't say anything to anyone about it because she probably wasn't supposed to be in the first place.
All right.
Oh, she does tell someone. She tells Autumn because that's an interesting story. She puts down an entry in the letter she's going to send. Where
it's not like Autumn's going to be able to read the letter by the time she gets it anyway. So.
Oh, exactly. But Autumn's the only one that can read her handwriting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's been established. That has been established, actually.
Oh my god, it's like code.
It's like a weird form of twin talk.
It is.
All right.
That's what I write down. Building up that letter. It's good.
All right. All right. Who else got beliefs? Ned's got to work on his whiskey still. Ashlyn apparently wants to talk to Ned more.
We probably only have time for like one more scene, eh?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If you want to do whiskey stuff and I haven't tasted your concoctions yet and I've had that belief for a few episodes, did we want to do that?
Yeah, I'm not opposed. I'm not really sure what this scene looks like, but
let's say you're trying to get the honey out of those trees.
Sure. So like you come visit me while I'm like working or something. All right. I can.
Is there a door I have to knock on?
No, you just like, come into the cavern.
Okay. Cool. So I show up.
Well, maybe so. Should I do like my like role to like do the work first, and then you can show up like during it, and that
Cool.
kind of how well I'm doing can inform.
Sure, if you don't want Dr. Don to help.
No, it's fine. I got my 2 worker bees.
Yeah.
All right.
There. What am I doing?
So you're trying to get the honey out because you had a really bad harvest
Right.
and you lost some of your previous ale. So you just need some filler, and this honey would be perfect. Especially since it's magical mouse honey.
Magical mouse honey.
So is it like a brewer test to like make this
Yeah,
brewing, I guess?
I think it would be a brewery test, a brewer test anyway. Yeah, I think if you make this roll, you're going to be able to stretch what you got left. To make your first real batch. Let's see here. So, I guess you get to decide how good of a brew you want to make.
Well, I don't really know that this is like really. I think you're just gonna have to send Knob on this because I'm like just setting up my materials. I'm not actually.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to set the base obs at 5 because you want enough to sell far and wide, right?
No. Have you gotta scale up, Golden. I'm not
All right.
starting out like trying to like start out as a multinational company.
You're not, but that's how you make tons of money.
That's actually specifically not how you make. Look, if you ever try to start a small business, you need to talk to me. We gotta sort some things out. But until then,
I have to start by releasing an operating system to compete with Windows. And that will give me the money I need to make, some kind of video game.
So you're actually going to give me like an actual aneurysm because I do a lot of software product management and product dev, and like a lot of times I actually have to talk to people who like think that way. It's like, oh well, like we like found a bug. It's like, well, yeah, we're making there are bugs in Google. Google has bugs. Fucking Windows 10 has bugs. Like there are gonna be freaking bugs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's start small.
You make a joke, but people actually, yeah. Anyway,
I know people are the dummy. So you can start at Ops 3. They'll give you enough to sell locally.
Alrighty.
What's the honey stuck in?
A tree.
Gotcha.
A giant hollowed out tree.
I got tree wise.
Absolutely.
Brew wise.
Yeah.
Maybe Miller? Is Miller at all close to what I'm doing to like get this?
I don't think so.
Miller.
I don't think
I
so.
don't see it.
I'm trying to what physical act am I like doing?
Sure.
And what like I'm trying to think of for forks. Like I don't think
So
maybe mending.
Miller will work because it's not just honey and you're making a brew here, right? You're making your ale. And it's still gonna be a magical ale from like the ice grain you got from the winter goddess, right? It's still going to be using that stuff to like give it its real kick. The honey is just there as filler, so you still have to do milling to make your alcohol.
Sure.
So yeah, you can use Miller.
Cool.
What's the other one?
Mending. I don't really think.
No.
All right, I'll just roll with that.
Do you have like planing? I don't know. Oh no!
I think planing is just carpentry. I'll re-roll that 6.
Get it.
So,
Oh.
No.
The luck had to run out eventually.
Yeah. Or does it?
yes.
It does? Okay. Ashley doesn't show up with her R determination. Nope. Okay, I guess not.
I can't think of a good reason for her to be there.
Yeah,
All right.
seems busy.
All right. So I didn't set failure for some reason.
I mean, who thought that he would fail? He's a master brewer.
He can't fail. So what does failure look like?
I got a suggestion.
Sure.
The magic in the honey and the magic in the ice wheat like have some weird combination together that is both unexpected and undesirable.
Sure.
But like not immediately noticeable because it's magic bullshit.
Not immediately noticeable. All right.
I mean, I don't know. You can take it however you like. I'm just throwing out stuff.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. All right. Sure. Okay. So you get your whiskey. And it's gonna sit in your vats aging, right? And I believe as a consequence of an earlier failure, the vats also have absorbed some magical potency from the previous.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. I gotta decide what's gonna happen with these. There you go. All right. I think we agreed that would be our last scene for tonight.
Yeah, I think it's time to do some Martha.
I feel like. Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. Okay. Artha time. So, did anybody get all the Artha?
No.
I think Ned got a lot of Artha.
Probably. You want to go through your Artha, Ned?
Yes. I won the festival, Persona. I think Moldbreaker for the way I did the oaks, because I'm not making furniture. I like totally flipped on that to do the barn.
Okay.
And then Fate for working on the whiskey. I didn't like fully do it yet.
You don't consider that your first true batch?
Okay, that's fine. I'll take Persona.
I mean, it's up to you.
No, that's fine. And then Persona for helping with the herbs.
All right, so you got 4 personas.
And I think that's it.
Do you get Fate for making time to practice your brewing? Didn't that get in the way of anything?
I don't think
guess
so.
not.
Not really.
Okay. All right, not really. All right, cool. I guess I'll look at your traits really quick too.
Just in case.
All right, yeah, I guess not. Okay. Adam, what'd you get?
I think I'm getting fate towards writing that letter because it came up
Yes.
2 times, but it's not finished yet.
You will get Fate for that.
Ned's concoctions have piqued my interest. Don't think it's best that I pick up a drinking habit, but perhaps a moderate amount for experimentation couldn't hurt.
Take fate.
Yep. I am on my way to the brewery.
You are at the brewery.
Next session, I would like our first scene to be at the brewery so that I can get rid of that belief.
Sounds fair to me.
Cool. Sweet Anahita is going to have her hands full at the Acorn Cap tournament. I didn't get the date, but I tried.
Yeah, you get fate.
Yep. Fate. I think always starting the day with 3 eggs, 2 pieces of buttered toast, and a cup of coffee at the Weathercroft Diner got me in trouble because I couldn't help the next day. I couldn't help Anahita to clean up the next day because I wanted to have breakfast and just wouldn't have time.
Sure.
I want to point out the irony of insisting that she change her routine for this festival while still stubbornly not being able to change your routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Good stuff.
I don't think never caused pain, alarm, or discomfort got me in trouble. Although it's a little debatable because just not wanting to press further with Anahita kind of made me go, okay, I'm just going to do the tournament now. I'm going to actually participate in it. But I think
I don't think so. I think there were other ways you could have pushed on that.
Yeah. I agree.
That was more of player brain crashing. No offense, Adam. It happens to me all the time too.
Mm-hmm. Hoarding, I think, moved the story in a different direction because that was how we got. That was how we had the scene where Donna returned all of the books and.
Yeah, sure.
The
Sounds
letter
good.
couldn't be read. Cool. I'm getting a ton of fate. This is cool. And I'm going to take one for evaluative because that was why she flooded the Faust mansion.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I just got a ton of fate. I got 6 fate and 0 persona. That's good.
Nice.
This is what happens whenever I play Burning Wheel.
Yeah.
All right.
Accomplish anything? Hell no. I got better things to do. All right.
I at least accomplished something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Ned agreed to help me shelter these animals, build a shelter. What am I missing? Build. Okay. I think that's fate. We got all the wood together, but we haven't built a shelter yet. The map we found is mysterious. We didn't talk about the map. Donna did something about the tunnels, but that didn't involve me, so I don't get fate for it. And the animals are my best friends, so I think that's persona.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that always wake up at 6 a.m. sharp and never stay up past 2 a.m. in the morning is contributed to the Faust mansion burning down.
Oh yeah, it totally did.
So that's fate. I don't think any of my traits really. Maybe tenacious, like the specifically setting up like a route to take, like to follow these animals specifically, like. Once I decided.
I think it was good flavor, but I don't think it really changed, the events of the game or.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, she worked on that crap all session. She avoided
I did.
festivals for it.
I avoided festivals to doggedly
That's
pursue
pretty
this goal.
tenacious.
Okay, I'll give you for that.
Okay.
I was like, for the scheduling itself,
No, like for
not
the
really,
whole
but
thing.
Yeah.
for the consequences of the scheduling,
There we
I'll
go.
give it to you.
Okay. Actually, I think that's everything though. So it's 3 Fate, 1 Persona.
Good stuff. All right, everybody, it's time to go to sleep.
All right. Well, let's do some real quick outros then.
My real life belief is wake up at 6 a.m. and go to sleep at an hour ago. So
My real life belief is very similar to that, only waking up earlier, but my time, not your time, and going to bed later because it's my time, not your time. Anyway, and I don't sleep enough. So Golden, why don't we learn more about you? Where are you on the internet, and what do you do?
Oh, you can find me on twitch.tv/GoldenWH. Also, I spent like all day tweeting at John Harper's Twitter because John Harper's pretty awesome.
Agreed.
Also, I like arguing about role-playing games. Sue me. You can find not so cute emotes, but you know, on my Twitch. But I now have emotes, which makes me so happy. And I actually want to commission art because now I have income, and having income is beautiful.
Income is a good thing.
Agreed.
God, I need to commission a haunted house from somebody.
That sounds like fun.
I wonder who could possibly do that for me. Well, I'll do some research and we'll find out.
Great. Sam, how about you? What do you do? Where can people find you on the internet?
Man, I don't even know what I do these days. I do things and stuff on the internet. Play role-playing games. I got a game tomorrow on Unmade Gaming's channel. I play a good boy. And I feel like anyone who watches me only on the Burning Wheel shows feels like I'm just like a callous human being between like Vero and Ned.
You're two totally different types of callous, though. It's very interesting.
Totally different types of callous, but all like two very callous human beings that like genuinely just really don't give a shit about anyone who they don't care about. And then you have my Wednesday character, who is just a sweet little cinnamon bun who just wants to protect everybody and is basically just a shonen character. And it's great. So come watch that. And then on Sundays I play the evil mastermind Vero Peon, not Vero Bataya any longer. As I meteorically rise to power from the bastard I once was to the prince of a new nation. That's the things that I do.
Weren't you in Winter's Edge?
No.
Really?
I told AP a while back, like a really long time ago, when we were still playing
Burning Crowns
together, that I basically told him, I was like, yeah, like, just don't really ever invite me to a 5e game. It's like, I like 5e, I just don't like on stream. And
I just like, man, it feels like your character just fit right in there.
I mean, look, what we're doing is basically like I'm just a horrible backstabbing bastard. My main skills are extortion and falsehood. After the last trait vote, I have 3 different traits indicating what a horrible lying bastard I am.
Nice.
It's good times.
It really is. I very much enjoy watching that show.
So yeah, come out. And that's on Sunday on AP's channel. And that's all I got. thanks for coming today too, guys.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and that leaves us with Dark Lavender Void.
Hi, I'm Dark Lavender Void. That's my Twitter handle. I actually have a actual thing I am on, another Twitch show that I can talk about, where I play communist along with 3 other communists, and it's pretty great. We are playing in Blades in the Dark, and we are hawking a communist broadsheet.
That sounds fantastic. Where could we find this and when?
If you are an Australian or an evil American Night poster, you can find us at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. That's American Eastern Time. On Ben Sherry's Twitch channel, which I can link.
Please do.
I'm not awake. I tried to play with Europeans, man.
Yep.
Is that what's going on here?
Similar.
Australians, but yes.
Okay. I always made them play in the morning.
Let me click
that Australians, you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. But with Europeans, there was no compromise to be had.
Yeah, it could be really tough streaming with Europeans unless they're like, okay, we're just going to have our schedule based around being up at 3 a.m. so that we can stream for an American audience.
Or you just like have to go during the just have to not work somehow.
All of those things.
When I didn't have a job for a couple months, I would use that opportunity to play with a bunch of Europeans during the daytime. But...
Yeah, there's some really cool Europeans, but where's the time machine, guys? Where's the time machines?
Anyway, do we have anything else? Because I'm tired.
No, I think that's it. This is I'm Kelsa. This is my channel. You can find me on Twitter at Kelsa. You found me here either on Twitch or YouTube, Kelsa Delphi. You can find me at the other at the same thing, and I always tweet when I'm going live. I'm here Tuesdays, Saturday, Mondays. My schedule's all weird. Mondays, yesterday, Cancol over on AP's channel. Unfortunately, I am very sad to announce that Band of Blades, which was my Thursday show, has been discontinued. There's just been a bunch of real-life scheduling that has gotten in the way.
Oh, no.
And I love everybody on that show, and I really love the show itself, but sometimes you just gotta let it go. And so this is gonna free us all up to do something else in that time slot, and I will definitely announce it as soon as anything's official. So once again, thank you all for coming out, and have a great night.
Good night.